Right. Our next speaker. He's scared of spiders. His sister was rather selfishly born on his 3rd birthday. So he has to celebrate his birthday every year with his sister. And he told me this wonderful, wonderful fact that he also said he thought he might regret. Apparently 70% of people mistake him for Guo Guang. 60% of the time, he plays along with it. Ladies and gentlemen, Gio.
I think I cheated here. I think I've got 21 slides. That's just an introductory for when you're reading out the facts.
I'm letting it.
So basically, I'm going to talk about Sheffield culture that's kind of evolved around me over the past 2 years. Very briefly, my background's in graphic design. I studied at Nottingham Trent, so I was away from Sheffield for 3 years, and then came back and tried to basically go freelance instead of working for a company. So basically, well, a bit of background here. This is Kid Apney's work and Dan Flem's work. These pieces are I normally walk past these like every day, and I quite like these pieces of work because they give Sheffield a visual personality. And Kid Apney's work is very vibrant. It kind of reflects like something that's bubbling underneath. This is Pete McKee's work, and he's an artist that I've only recently met and spoken to in the past year. He's given me some really good advice, and basically like the stuff that he's doing is kind of stuff I've always wanted to do. He's opened up a gallery. He always creates a dialogue with young artists as well. A bit of history here. I have the forum to thank for kind of, in not so many words, exposing me to Sheffield. Kind of, they allowed me to host my first solo exhibition, and through that, kind of got a lot of work and a lot of attention from people. You know, just people sitting down for a coffee, seeing the work and emailing me saying they really like what they saw. And with that kind of confidence, I kind of started to develop my style. I wanted a stronger style, which was kind of like Kid Apney's and Pete McKee's. When as soon as you look at their work, it's synonymous with them. You instantly recognise it. So I spent a good couple of years just kind of honing what I can do and trying to create a look that's very much mine. And then during that time, as I was getting more work, my friends were opening a shop, so I became a third partner in Arcade, which is in the Forum on Devonshire Street. And basically, we wanted to open up like an independent boutique that sells clothes and designer homeware. And so we got involved with that, and it kind of allowed us to create a little hub. Whenever customers come in, we talk to them and kind of just try and not kind of like do the hard sale and things like that, just kind of see how they were doing and stuff like that, make friends with them. But it also allowed me and my colleague Anger, who sat in the crowd incidentally, to basically work on a project we've been doing for a while, which is Hansu Collective. Hansu Collective at start was a label, a clothing label, but we always openly invited other young creatives and designers to collaborate and work with us, not work for us. And so over the past 2 years, we've been working on our clothes and kind of building up a big base of people, from writers to musicians to dancers to models. And Tramlines of this year, Tramlines Festival, we managed to host our first flash mob fashion show, which was all organised on the internet, organised on Facebook, and then next to the queue to get into Devonshire Green, we just kind of took out the liner and started dancing and started doing this show. Pictures here, up in the middle, they're from our first fashion show at the Cathedral. We were the first people to host one at Sheffield Cathedral, which was last Saturday. And we wouldn't have been able to do that without collaborating with all these people. Like the Sheffield Cathedral heard about us, and they were excited to get involved in it. Also working with Hansu and kind of being a face in the shop, I was being approached a lot to do live art events, which kind of like it's like not being like a performer, but you kind of stood in a bar or in a club or at a gig, and you're just drawing whilst bands are playing in between. So at Tramlines they tried this out, and I was kind of like doing a lot of that over the festival, and it was interesting to see like the reactions of people, because people would be drinking, watching bands, and then kind of turning away and looking at the art as soon as the bands were finished. So basically that really helped me in terms of getting more work. And then the tramlines this year, I set up a group called Stars and Stripes, and basically I gathered all of Sheffield's live artists, and we basically work under one banner. All you have to do is wear a stripy t-shirt and turn up, bring your own pens. And so we've been asked to do plenty of projects like this. This one was at Northern General Hospital. We were asked to do a waiting room in there. And with all this live drawing work, I was getting a lot of commercial work as well. This is the inside of DQ nightclub. And basically they'd seen what I'd been doing, and they just kind of asked me, would I draw a massive giant wave go through the back of the main room? And so I obliged them 10 days to do it. This one's at Ledyard Jepson. It's a graphic design and marketing company. They just wanted me to kind of do something in their waiting room as well, when clients are waiting around and looking at the walls or whatever. And this one's at Hair Candy Hair Salon on their reception wall. All these projects I've got off the back of like doing hand-to collector stuff and kind of doing my own work as well. All the work in Sheffield kind of took me outside of Sheffield as well, because a few companies around the Yorkshire region were kind of looking at what I was doing and getting in touch with me. This is some work I did for JDA, who are based in Leeds. They're a marketing company as well. And it's got to the point now where I'm allowed to have free reign on the work that I do. People just kind of go, here's your room, do whatever you want to it. So I can just draw little characters like running around the room and things like that, and hide little characters and like in nooks and crannies. And I get emails like weeks later going, I found a character, did you put that there? Yeah. And this is just more kind of like recent work that I've done for Tramlines. During Tramlines they set up a little newspaper to kind of review all the gigs that happened, and these are some of the illustrations I've done for it. And then Pete McKee kindly asked me to be involved in his cover version exhibition, which basically the brief was to redesign your favourite album cover. And so, well, I picked Radiohead, and me and Dust Collective were the only ones to do a back and a reverse. So I was quite chuffed about that. And this piece was commissioned by the Millennium Galleries for their Teatopia exhibition, and basically it's a tea towel. And there's a company called To Dry For. They sell a lot of tea towels online, and they basically commissioned me to do this. My first piece in a big gallery building. I was quite proud of that. And I'm closing off on one of my favourite images that I've made over the past year, which basically I think anyone from Sheffield knows what these are. And I couldn't help but think when they were going down, I would love to be the person to press the button, just to kind of see how it feels. I didn't press the button.